how does that work out?
Because I'm a lawyer and I buy a fuckload of suits. So then you get like all these points, and then they send you these gift certificates because you have the points, and then you just cash in the gift certificates, get free shit. Usually people buy like a tie or something. I had enough to buy a suit. So I bought a suit, and after I reduced all the gift certificates, it was $20 left. So it was the only thing I had to pay for it. So I got a pimpin' Matlock suit, full white, you know?
Oh, isn't it like Daredevil?
What?
Matlock. Isn't that his name?
Matlock. No, Matlock. The old Southern lawyer played by like Andy Griffith.
Oh.
You know?
What's the Daredevil's last name?
His name's Matt Murdock.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that right?
That's what I was thinking.
Matt Murdock is totally the Daredevil.
Yeah.
There you go. See, that's a good mistake. It's like you combine.
Yeah, but he didn't really wear white suits. He kind of wore a red one that looked like the devil.
Well, I mean.
So you were right there. You were in the neighborhood of.
I mean, he was a lawyer and wore suits, and I'm like, I don't remember a white suit that was like super iconic. But all right,
okay,
that's good. I mean,
I gotta link it.
No,
now.
I got it. I'm looking at it right here. I can Google.
Sorry for you at this point.
I can Google. He wears a lot of white suits. I can see that now.
Matlock, yeah, like white or light gray all the time.
I'd rather have you gotten a Daredevil costume from
well, they didn't sell those at Men's Warehouse, or we might have. I probably would have went for Batman. I'd just show up in like a suit with the cowl on. You know, that would be cool.
Without pants, be like, I need matching pants.
Why do I need pants at all?
I guess that's fair.
Matlock wouldn't wear pants.
You might be right.
I actually had a client, it's this really old black guy, and he called me his Matlock, and I loved him. He was my favorite.
That's awesome.
Sentimental favorite. Okay, ready when you guys are.
You guys ready?
I'm always ready.
Always ready. I like that. I just want to check that your mic picked that up on Zencaster. Which
yeah, that's probably smart.
I see little spikes. All right. Yeah. Have fun, guys. We'll aim for an hour. Yeah, so just be aware of that. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything. I think I'm just going to just jump right into things, basically. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see.
Do, re, mi, fa.
3 minutes.
Si, la, to.
That's not helpful.
Oh.
I'm glad you're working your vocal cords. Hey, Cuke. Hey, Clarkin. We are about to start this while Blake is gone. He says, ready when you are, guys, and then walks away.
It's cool.
He needs his fuel for the show. Ready, Blake?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right,
I guess I should start the stream then.
Sure, why not?
All right, we're streaming.
All right, here we go. 3, 2. Hey guys, welcome to episode 142 of the League of Legends Anonymous podcast. I'm your host Sam, aka Just Casual. Here I have with me Blake, aka Wise Papa Smurf.
What's happening, Sam?
Hey, we got Cookie, aka It's Mr. Win.
Hello.
Yo. and then we got Aiden, aka Tom Stench, or I guess Leaguecast Frost might be a better way to introduce you.
It's probably the best way, right? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for coming back, guys. Especially Blake. I'm surprised he's been around he outlasted Ernie. I'll say that.
Yeah, I beat Ernie's dumb ass right to the ground.
And this is Blake's last episode now.
Yeah, sorry guys, the last one. I didn't really announce it until now, so
you didn't want to steal the Ernie thunder.
Just as long as I, whomp Ernie one under, I guess we're all right. You know,
we got some nice comments for Ernie after he decided to. After his last episode.
Ernie got a lot of love. There was a lot of shocked no on the Facebook page.
But he deleted his Twitter literally I couldn't tweet him when I wanted to. He deleted
I thought he changed the name on it or something to
Did he?
Yeah,
he did.
Oh.
You change like the at on it.
Oh, there's no at Lola anymore.
No, it's just at Nova XT.
Oh,
One.
One.
Yeah, he's number one.
A fan must have stole it or something. The original one.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna hold his account hostage because Ernie is obviously the star, and he's gonna go big. We all know it.
Yeah.
Well, besides Blake, since we've been talking, how is the rest of you guys? How's your guys' night?
I'm doing good.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's been rainy a couple days, but
Oh, the weather
oh
sucks.
well.
Wait, are you guys? Aiden, you're in Illinois. No, you're on the east. No, you're in Canada.
I'm in Canada,
That's right.
Ontario, Canada. Yeah.
That's
Oh
right.
my.
You're totally outnumbered this time. You don't have Tyler having
Yeah.
your back this time.
Exactly.
Blake's
I
like
feel,
getting ready. He's like stretching his legs. He's like, all right. Yep.
Man. Yeah, so like I hear Cookie's been rained on. My town got washed away by a flood. So I guess I win on that regard.
Oh.
And Frost is, talking about being Canadian. That's a fair bitch. I understand that. That's fair.
Hey, dude, it's been terrible weather here too. I get like migraines with bad weather, so I've just been dying the past couple
no.
days.
So
yeah.
in other words, you get migraines year round.
Yeah, I mean, like just bad, like shitty weather. Like over,
Yeah.
like not over. Holy shit! Like just a lot of pressure and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's pretty rough.
No, I feel you. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, you're feeling better today.
And here
Yeah.
I thought Canadians never put pressure on each other.
Good one.
It was just
Good
It
one.
was just a laid back culture.
Well, anyway, with those
High
stats at
intensity
Canada.
hugs over there, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Let's just jump right into things. We have a mid-season update that just came out. Patch 7.9 just came out. We will be doing our official quote-unquote patch 7.9 episode next week. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
That is from a former guest, Ever.
Who we keep
Who,
dropping the ball on.
We actually were supposed to reschedule one with him. We really got to get onto that.
Maybe like for
So,
the last 6 months, I think. So-
Yeah. So Ever, actually, we had a problem because you couldn't tell when he was being properly sarcastic. So we decided to create an audio cue to indicate sarcasm. So if you're going to say something
Little air
sarcastic, you
quotes.
throw a whoosh in him before and after.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right? So you just kind of blow into the
Interesting.
microphone or whatever.
After a
So,
few
like-
episodes, you'll get it.
Yeah, so in other words, it was a completely good idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's a little demo.
Ah.
There you go. So yeah, we'll be doing 7.9, the patch 7.9 officially next week. However, this week we are going to be talking general mid-season update. We're not going to go into necessarily the huge like what's been strong, but now it's kind of predictive and just more of our opinions on things and what we're excited about. So first things first, we have a tank update. The big changes are Maokai, Sejuani, and Zach, all within varying degrees. I think they're pretty kind of small, medium to small. They weren't like any like crazy assassin or what was the other mage update? It was a mage update before that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And nothing super huge. What do you guys think about these changes?
Well, I like them. I think it'll make painted champions much more enjoyable, other than just like for Johnny pressing R and then you kind of have nothing else. And
Yeah.
for Maokai, I'm especially excited to play him. I think he's a jungler on this patch, no?
Ah,
It
I've
seemed
been
like it, no?
buffed. Back to the glory
He's
days.
definitely not a tank. I don't know. I think he's dead personally, but I don't think that character is going to be played at all. Like, just look at his kit before. It's like, oh, what are the best parts about his kit? His passive, which was broken as hell, right?
Mhm.
And his ultimate, which was one of the best abilities in the game.
Mhm.
Guess what? They're both changed. What a surprise! I don't know. I'd say he's my least favorite of the three by like a fair bit too.
But that's
Like,
because you think he got like, he's nerfed to the
I just
ground.
think that he had like his strongest part about his kit was his ultimate, and I think his new ultimate is a worse Nami ult by like a lot.
It looks so cool though. I mean,
It does
it's
look
really
cool.
coming out of the ground.
The Meowkai skin
Yeah.
ultimate looks amazing. It's just a whole bunch of cats just going in and out of the ground. Yeah. Ah, man. Yeah, I don't
Well, I'll tell you
I don't
this.
know how I feel about it.
at like max range, if you hit that ult, it's a 2.4 second route.
It's big, yeah, but like your teammates can block it.
Yeah.
But no one wants to block it for you anyway. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So it's like a follow-up CC, no?
That's the thing. It's like the tank update feels like it made Maokai less tanky, which is a weird thing to say. It's like, Maokai just, you couldn't kill him. And you couldn't. So, I mean, that is a fair problem. Because it's like other unkillables like Mundo, that's addressed by you buy an item that counters health regen. There was nothing to address Maokai. And to a certain degree, there's not a lot to address Poppy as it stands, because she's pretty goddamn unkillable as well with constant shields and shit. So, it seems kind of harsh to pick on Maokai like this, but at the same time, like, some of the other buffs, I think it will make him... The problem with Maokai, to me, was that he was about as fun to play as Garen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't really feel like I have any moments where I'm like, yeah, Maokai turned this game. You know what I mean?
Obviously,
You're
never
like,
played with my jungle Maokai then.
like, wow.
I hit all those routes, 100%.
Getting hurt less.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay, I got it. It was like when Riot talked about Sona sucking because it was like, oh, it's a bunch of passive stats. That's not enjoyable. We hate passive stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's Maokai's ultimate. The downside is those passive stats were really fucking good.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels like I'm kind of with Aiden. I think it could be a fun kit, but I think it's going to be weaker out of the gate than it was before.
Sure.
But I think you may be right. Maybe it's just a jungle is the shift that needs to take
I
place.
heard support potentially too.
Maybe.
Wait, Blake is saying no to a support champion?
I don't... Well, okay.
It's not Urgot? Actually, no, you support Urgot. Oh, Blake's in dick
I don't think so. I think he'll stay in the jungle. Yeah,
One of
that's
the-
like it. Like,
Yeah, I definitely think he should be a jungler. Like, he's going to be probably more supportive because, like, now he just loses a bunch of tank stats that he got before. But, like, the main thing is I just kind of feel like it's just not as exciting. Like, you look at Sejuani's, which is, like, kind of more attractive of a kit. You look at Zax, which is actually insane. Like, Zax is probably the most fun kit out of the three of them by, like, a lot. And you look at Maokai's and you're like, his ultimate's pretty short range. His ultimate's the same range as Nocturne level 1 ult, by the way. And it's slow moving and it's 5 routes that can get blocked by other teammates. I feel like it wouldn't have been broken if they made it like half the map, like a semi-global. So it just slowly went across the entire map, and like you could maybe TP in behind them as you cast it. Like I feel like there's a lot of fun things they could have played with this mechanic, right? But like it's just kind of, I don't know. It seems kind of lame. I like the animation. I like the theme of it because it does fit his theme as a character. But like, I feel like they could have made it like a semi-global, and it wouldn't have been broken, but it would have been opened up more like plays with it and more things you could do.
I was reading to try to figure out if I could make him into a support while you were talking. Sorry, I really wasn't listening. I hope I don't duplicate anything you just said. No, I don't think so. Because what I'm looking at is like Bramble Smash, the Q, like what would have made Maokai a decent support is that he has kind of self-sustain, kinda. He has like 2 to 3 different forms of CC, and that he used to have a slow, a root, a sapling slow, and his new ult, I guess, would be the third, right?
Yeah.
Now, his Q, which was his most reliable form of CC, is, well, I guess now the W is the most reliable, but Q is also very good, is now a slight knockback and hardly a slow at all anymore. It's 99% for a quarter of a second, versus
tiny
where it
root,
used to be a 50% slow for a second and a half. So that's a ton of CC lost. His W root, the root duration used to go from 1 second to 2 seconds. Now it goes from 1 second to a second, 1.4.
Yep.
So you've lost half a second of root duration there. The slow on the sapling is down to 35%, but it lasts for 2 seconds instead of 1. So I don't know which is really better in that regard.
I mean,
Yeah, that's kind
the
of
sapling. You don't even saplings aren't even reliable either. Too,
Sure, I mean,
they're
so
even
that's kind
less
of
reliable now.
yeah, that's kind of a side grade, if anything.
Gotcha.
You know. So then the ult has like more CC, but you have to hit them at range.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to launch a long range ult and hit your target. I don't know. It just feels like all of his CC got smacked
Yeah.
too, and even the more reliable of his CCs is now like less in duration.
Yeah, it seems like they
So-
nerfed him to buff something else of him, which would be his ult. But again, like we said, the ult doesn't seem that OP, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I think they feel like the power budget of the ult is way bigger than it actually is.
Yeah.
I think if he is playing competitive, pro teams will learn how to play him. He seems more like a team fight zoning kind of guy. If there's like a 5-on-5 team fight mid lane in the mid game, he ults and the enemy team will push back maybe, and then you could do something, maybe flank him or catch someone, thrush hook. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Nami ult is a good zoning tool, so I could see this being a really good zoning tool as well. But
Well, okay, to be fair to the new Ultimate, because I have kind of shitted on it for a while, the maximum route duration is only after 1,000 distance.
Mhm.
So that's like a little less than an Ezreal Q. And then it's max route duration. So that's not that
wait,
bad.
that's an Ezreal Q?
Ezreal Q is like 13, isn't it? Or is that Jinx laser that's 13?
Jinx laser is 1350, I believe. Ezreal Q
Yeah.
is not loading. Ezreal Q is 1150.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
So it's a little less
That's
than
really
Ezreal
short.
Q.
Wait, does it get longer as it levels up?
No, it does not.
2500 the entire time.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
telling you.
1150. So if it goes almost Ezreal Q distance, then it maxes out the...
Well, no, it says
the
it
route.
doesn't say a max range. It just says it scales up over the first 1,000 damage distance travel.
Right, there it is. Over the first 1,000 distance. So
So it could
if
go
you're at
further.
point blank range, it'll be a 0.6 second route. If you're at Ezreal Q range, it'll be a 2.4 second route. So
But we don't know the
that's
length
where
of
all
this,
of his
though, right?
CC is.
We don't actually know
Huh?
how long this is, right?
Oh,
It's more than
it-
1,000.
It was like the whole lane before. Whenever I saw the video that Riot put out, those cats went a really fucking
It's-
long way.
2500 and Nocturne for level 1 alt range is 2000.
Oh,
And Nocturne level 1 alt range is like nothing, so.
okay. Yeah, that's like what? Not even tower to tower, maybe mid tower to
That's
tower.
like a little bit over 2 Ezreal Qs.
It's almost mid tower to mid
How
tower.
many Timos is that,
inter-
Blake?
Yeah, that's 14 and a half Timos.
Okay, thank you. Now I can totally visualize it.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Holding hands.
So we talked about Sejuani. Sejuani is probably somewhere in the middle when it comes to excitement of all the 3 tanks that have been changed.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. I think the main thing is her numbers, like, are what surprised me. Like, the mechanics are kind of, like, a little bit bland. I mean, I understand why they changed her. I read up on their goal for changing her was before they had all of her power in her ultimate. Because her ultimate was
Yep.
a 5-man stun at the very best, which means
Mhm.
that they couldn't give her Q, her W, or her E any, like, power because
Sure.
she would be overloaded, right?
Mhm.
But like we look at her new stuff and like just her numbers actually seem really like crazy. Her passive is the frost armor thing where she takes she has slow immunity and gains bonus resistances. That's 100 bonus resistances. Like when she has it procced. Like that seems insane to me.
That's a lot of gold value. A lot of gold value.
Well,
And-
according to this, it doubles her total resistances and then adds 100.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
no big
Oh,
deal.
wow.
So
It's gross.
Even better.
It's a
So
gross
wait a
amount.
minute, we nerfed Maokai because he was unkillable, and then this. That's cute.
And then you look, you know how like she has that new stun thing where after you apply enough procs of frost, like Brahma's passive, like you get to like shatter someone. That
Mhm.
scales up
Yeah.
to 20% of their maximum health at level
Holy
14.
That's
Doesn't that
great.
seem gross for passive ability?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but Sejuani needs it. No one plays her.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, Brian's like, people have forgotten about Sejuani. Let's just buff her for a patch and then probably nerf her a little bit the second patch and then say, oops, we're sorry. We didn't realize Sejuani was so strong. Huge nerfs and no more everyone's playing Maokai after they buff him. Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, to compensate for how they kind of loaded that, they took out a lot out of her Q. The mana's down, the cooldown is down, the damage is down, the knock-up duration is down, and it no longer knocks up enemies around the target you first hit.
Oh, so it's only a single knockup.
It's only a single hit.
Okay.
And everything about it is down. I mean, cost, cooldown, and cost and cooldown are buffs. Damage and knockup duration are nerfs.
Yeah.
So it's just a quick CC.
Yeah, it's just a quick dash CC is all it is now.
Which is still good. I think it's still good.
Definitely.
Sure, but I mean, it used to be a dash AoE CC.
Yeah, I gotcha. I think, it sounds like she's just really strong. And the great thing about Sejuani is she's not the hardest champion to learn. So I feel like people should, like, pick her up in solo queue.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'll be banning her.
The funny thing is, I was really hoping they would take her W and just kill it and put something else on her kit. Because it was, to me, it's a really unappealing ability. Like, I'm going to swing my mace around like a lasso.
They made a cool shape for it now, though. Like, she kind of like a Rengar Q type thing.
Yeah, but I feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could swing a mace like, yeah, ha ha! Yeah, that's not, like, I don't feel like I'm doing something cool whenever I do that. Plus, the mechanic itself was, like, clunky as fuck because it would, like, hide your auto attack animations. So it would just look weird and it didn't feel right. And I was like, man, this is a good opportunity. You're working on Sejuani to just remove that piece of shit ability and come up with something cooler.
I mean, it's better.
Yeah.
I mean, it is better, but it's like, could have just cut that cancer out instead of putting a bow on it.
All right. So what about Zach? Zach got some big changes. It's just, is it really only his ult that was the big change, or?
And his Q.
And his Q? Oh, that's right, his Q, where he can like smash two people together, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
First one's a skill shot. The second one is just auto attack.
Yeah.
And you hit those two targets together. That's pretty cool.
Do we know if that's like the second target can be a minion yet, or no? Do we know that?
I think it has to be a champion. Everything that they've shown was a champion.
But it just says enemy. It doesn't say champion specifically in the writing.
It says if he then uses a basic attack on a different target, he'll grab hold of them both.
Oh, that would just be really stupid.
I think that's what changes if he's like broken or like just really strong, right?
Right.
Because if it is a minion, like if it's a champion, then I don't think Top Zac could be viable. But if it's a minion, I think Top Zac actually is viable, like immediately.
Yeah, because you have like it's accessible.
Yeah, and it's CC. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's.
He can easily set up a gank.
Gank assist would be so stupid.
Yeah, you can pull people back towards
that's a
your
good
tower and stuff like that.
Yeah, plus the extra collision damage is pretty stupid. It's like the damage applied all over again.
Yeah.
You're just getting queued twice.
So he's gonna camp bot lane, basically.
And he still has, I mean, that ability still has a slow on it. It's very, very short, but it's there.
Oh, after the Q? It's a slow?
Yeah, it's
it's
60%
60% slow for a quarter second.
Wow, even more OP.
So, I mean, but it's only a quarter second, so I think it's meant to, like, keep you within the I'm going to hit something else and smash it together range, but not, like, intending to keep you there forever kind of deal.
Okay, so the big one is his ult. So basically, there's two choices. The first ult is just the normal, you just bounce up and down, knocking people back. Or you can, when you hit the ground, you can hold it, become like a big pool on the ground, and then sling people back at a target location. That seems crazy.
Okay, I watched a video, and this Zach was standing in the bush by top lane, and he does his ult in the bush, and their whole team like piles on to kill him, and then he picks them all up and throws them over the wall into a waiting Nunu ult and pinnacles them.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh my.
Yeah, like just instantaneously pintas
Oh,
the whole
that's
team.
awesome. You could like do that with a Rise, just kill someone like half a screen or like half the map away.
Oh, I think his ultimate is great to counter Rise's ultimate, no? If Rise's team is trying to get away.
Yeah.
So I can
Just like
ulti
the
on that.
Oh wow, the timing.
Not
would be
today.
incredible.
Well, how long does it take to charge all the way up? Because you have to have some pretty quick ass reaction time,
Well,
wouldn't you?
actually, you only need a second. So if you're expecting it, you can just if you're in the fight in the Rise ultimate, you can just press it for a second and sling them out, right? Unless they juke you.
How
which-
long does? Okay, now I'm gonna look.
One
up
second.
Rise ult's 2
Rise's ult.
seconds. Rise ult's 2 seconds.
All right, so you got a whole second of window.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
make
if
that
you're in a
happen.
position,
It's doable.
That's totally
It's
doable.
If you're
if you have
there,
a flash,
it's
you
totally doable.
totally doable.
Calling it now. We're seeing it on Reddit next week. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what
Front
happens.
Next week? You mean this week? I'm sure it's this week.
Yeah, really.
Ah, man. Yeah, this one will be fun. So my one concern though is that my concern was that it would take too long to be able to drop on people. Like, so you'd slingshot, you'd do your ult in place, you'd hold it, and then you'd pull them back. Is that really enough time for people to get, like, people would react fast enough to get out of that, wouldn't they? Even
It
without
depends
flash,
if you
right?
hit your E or not, right? Because your E is a half second stun. So if you hit your E, you stun them for half a second, like a half second knockup, which allows you to channel half of it, right?
Wait, is it a half second knockup? Is there a stun after that too that's additional to it? You know?
It's just half second like CC.
Okay.
So like you land your E
that-
on them, and then you'll get a half second of your ultimate if you
Gotcha.
do immediately. So.
And the ultimate is surprisingly wide in the amount of
is it?
area it grabs.
Yeah.
I think
And it
it's
slows.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
Okay.
comparable to like a Oriana ult
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
in the radius.
Maybe
I
like
think.
half an Ezreal Q.
Yeah, maybe like 16 of those.
All right. Yeah, it's weird because I think Zach has been super strong for a while,
hmm
especially in solo queue. He's really strong, and then now, I like the changes, but I think they just made him like just ban-worth. Like,
Yeah, I think he's gonna be perma banned. He just has super great gank potential and team fighting too, initiating to team fight.
yeah, and he's so strong with solo queue. Like, people should be picking Zach up because it's all about the way to counter, quote unquote, is you need vision control, like weird spots of vision, like in the Raptor, but in the
Right.
Raptor camps and stuff like that. But still, like, you don't. It's hard to coordinate that kind of vision when you need like 2 or 3 people with blue trinkets and everyone aware that Zach could be over here or should be over here at this time. So he's a total solo queue monster. And then like the way Brad plays him, he can go AP or tank and still do damage. Like, it's crazy. You don't have to go full AP, but you just build like a Rylai's and a Leandry after like your tank item.
Yeah.
First 2 tanked items.
The big thing
You
that
can
I
build
see,
a Rod of Ages and do just fine on him too.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I completely agree. The thing I see for solo queue is like look at characters that are good in solo queue. A lot of them are like characters that like kind of just disturb team fights, right? Stuff like Kled like excels really well in solo queue because he just runs at the back line and everyone has to react to him, right? You look at Zach, like look at the cooldowns on his abilities. If you go like a 40 CER rush build on him, right? You have like what 5-second cooldown on your Q, 8-second cooldown on your slingshot, like
God.
like honestly, he's gonna like have so much just like disruption in a team fight. Like you're grabbing people, slamming them together, you're landing on people, you're ulting people out of the fight. Like it's gonna be a mess, and I feel like that's why he's gonna excel, right?
I just realized how good he's going to be with Bard.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Wow. 'Cause you just ult anybody, you've automatically caught them. Zach can just walk over and ult them backwards, smash them together for an instantaneous Bard Q.
Yeah. It has to be coordinated though for a
Not
Zach
really.
and Bard Q.
Yeah,
You like
it's
all
not
the
too
time in
hard.
the world to throw your ult. It's like, oh, yep, they're in stasis. Go grab them. Okay, you know.
No,
That's not hard.
For the Zach Q and Bard Q. Like
Oh,
to
that's not-
smash them together and
That's gonna be easy.
barbecue.
That one's gonna be
That's
so
gonna
easy.
be easy, man.
Unless
You don't
Bard's
have to
not
worry
patient
about that.
enough. That's a hard
Yeah,
part.
if the Bard's not
don't-
patient. Or shit. I mean, whenever you ult them, they're gonna be in like a pile.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be
Yeah.
that hard to hit a Q there either.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Like, hey, now I've stunned them. Now you can really slap the gooey shit out of them. There you go. Done. You know? I mean, god damn, that's gonna be sick.
I miss
It
playing
just
tanks.
seems like a. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I miss playing tanks, and like the thing I love about tanks, like when I was playing Maokai back in the day, is just like he brings so much CC. He could just like knock people around and not die. Same thing with Nautilus. He could. That's why he's super popular because he's unkillable. He does decent amount of damage to squishy targets, and he just CCs people forever. Now Zach joins a party who he was already CCing people a ton because of his slows and knockups, except now he has even more and scarier CC. Then Sejuani is gonna stun people. Oh my gosh.
It just seems like a lot of CC on very, very, very low cooldowns, which I think is going to be scary for solo queue. So
Oh man. So wait, what's being banned right now? Like because I know in the LCS it was like tons of junglers were being banned. Like 4 out of 6 junglers were being banned. We're gonna see like 6 out of 6 tanks being banned now.
yeah, really.
Well, I mean, those junglers were like largely kind of assassin-y junglers. They were getting banned. Those aren't going to be as good if you have these kind of tanks floating around.
Yeah, it's too much
Assassins
CC.
they typically suffer during a tank CC meta.
Sure.
So if that shift happens, then those guys clear up on the banned list because they're not going to be as effective.
We got a few more helpful assassin items though, like with the Banshee's Veil and Guardian
Okay,
Angel.
I do actually want to talk shit on Riot for that one.
You want to? Okay, well let's move into items. Well, there we go.
Okay, that's fine. Let's move into items.
Go for it. No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Both of those two items, those are the two that really piss me off. Because to be honest, let me sing you the song of an item called Atma's Impaler, who Riot made specifically to say, we are destroying this item because mixing defense and offensive items is incredibly impossible to balance. Because either it's dog shit or it ruins the game. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we do to change? Well, one. Okay, first complaint. Banshee's Veil was fine. You didn't need to make it an offensive item. Abyssal was fine. You didn't need to make it a tank item. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, just change the stat on the item rather than like doing some kind of wicked stupid flip flop. Like, whatever. I mean, those items were perfectly okay. That being said, GA and now Banshee's Veil make no fucking sense in the ecosystem that they're in. Because if I can buy an item that gives me, like, defense against somebody's spells, and it also gives me 70 AP, how do you lose lane with that?
It's called Edge of Night. It's the same thing except the AP version.
No,
right?
no, it's not, because Edge of Night doesn't give you armor.
Wait, no, does hold on. Banshee Veil doesn't give MR anymore, right?
It gives magic resist, 45.
Oh, okay.
It gives 45 magic resist.
But-
It absorbs a spell like Malzahar passive, like it always has, and it gives you 70 AP now. So if you just buy this item, walk into lane, and all in your opponent, they're gonna die.
Actually, now that I think about it, this kind of worries me because I like playing like penetration mages, like support mages. Because I was like, oh, they're not building health, so it's okay. But now, actually, any penetration like Zyra supports now won't do ridiculous amount of true damage to anyone with a Banshee's Veil.
I mean, like you, Sam, I too enjoy full penetration.
Nice.
Nice. Dear God.
So I was going to disagree with you immediately on Banshee's Veil, but you brought up a really fucking good point in the fact that
Hey, don't inflate his ego too much.
No, he's completely right though. Like there's no reason that if you're laning AP versus AP, you won't go first on a Banshee's Veil, right? Like zero chance. Because like you're giving up mana regen, that's it, right? Because like Merlin Omicon is 2,400 gold, right? This is 2,500 gold. Roland Omicron gives 80 AP instead of this one giving 70, but this one gives 45 magic resist and a spell shield. So you're giving a mana regen for a spell shield and 45 MR.
So
That
like you're
seems
not
insane.
gankable either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that seems way too good. Like that's actually gross. That's not good.
That's what
That's
I'm saying. Like you can't mix defensive passives and shit like that and stats with offense. It doesn't work because it's like that's why they had so much problem. And then like Atmos gets destroyed because they nerfed it down to a point where it had no niche. And it was like, well, it's a defensive offensive item. And it's like, wait a minute, those are terrible. Why are we doing that? Kill it. And then they're like, hey, you know what we should do in Season 7? Defensive offensive items.
Can I play devil's advocate really quick?
Please.
Though?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think you understand this too, and because you're smart enough. Like I think what they're trying to do is make it so that people can never go double defensive like with these like utility passes, right? Like there's never going to be a situation now where like a character goes GA plus Banshees, right? Because they don't want to have these two utility passes. Because now they made Banshees a AP tank utility item, and they made Guardian Angel a AD tank utility item. Because new Guardian Angel is the AD tank item, right? So like, I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that someone like a mid laner, say like you're playing against like, I don't know, let's just say Kassadin. Let's just say put Kassadin in this mix. Kassadin gets really far ahead, and then he goes Banshee's GA as his like third, fourth item. He's now unkillable, and he's fed, right? And he has two defensive items that you have to burn through his defensive items before you kill him. Like that's not healthy for the game. So they tried to at least break those two things apart. So like use actually, there's some sort of like counterplay, right? They don't want items to make a character broken. They want the character and his abilities and how he plays the game to make the character strong, right? At least that's I'm assuming what they tried to do. They don't want you to ever build Banshees in GA, and this is kind of how they did it. That being said, I think they kind of overlooked how good Banshees is going to be as a first item rush, and how annoying that's going to be.
So I have a question with that. So I mentioned like the penetration mage supports. If you're not building health on a mage and you get that magic resist, how much does it help you in like? I understand it helps early game. Well, okay, when does it help you? How important is that magic resist without any additional health items?
Oh, it's really good. Like just having that little bit means so much. What's 45 has got to be like, it reduces your incoming magic damage probably by like 30-40% even. Like that first like 100 or so is like so crucial.
Yeah, that's a killer. Because remember, you get the first 100, it's 50% damage reduction.
Yeah.
Period. And you know, you can never totally cap it off. So later MR is worth far less than your early MR is. And, you know, flat pin is good for people who don't build MR, which is traditionally carries. Now it's not going to be because they're going to be building this. You know, and that's a problem as an early game rush item. It's a problem regardless, in my opinion. But I get what Frost is saying. I get the logic behind what they were trying to do. But it's like I don't feel like this is now an AP tank item and an AD tank item. I feel like this is a AP mid item and an ADC item. Because an ADC can build a fucking Guardian Angel out of a BF sword. So you get early lane dominance if you get your early BF sword, and then you become unkillable by virtue of getting defense and a resurrection passive in a two-man lane.
Do you think if they made it not build out of BF sword, it would have been better? Say if they made it build like really
they
crappy
made it build out of a pickaxe and not even a pickaxe
and like a bunch of
longsword. That would still be really good.
No,
that seems really good, doesn't it? Like, that's gross.
I mean, it kind of has to build out of a BF sword because then you at least like make it hard to initially get.
But I mean,
if it builds out of a pickaxe and a longsword, you're getting virtually the same amount of AD, and it's an easier build path. You know what I mean?
Like
that would be worse. I would think. You know.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so I don't know what you do.
Do you get this first if you're like in a losing lane and you?
No, I think you get it first if you're in a winning lane.
But then a lot of champions no matter what BF sword item you get, you spike at the moment you get it. But some like really need that, whatever that first BF item is, though, right? Like Infinity Edge.
I don't think you do when you have this item. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you gonna get? Like, if you got an Infinity Edge. That's going to cost you like 30. Well, they just reduced the cost, so now I got to look at it. It costs 3,400 gold, right? And you have to build a crit item before it's even good, right? Because you're okay. So you go, okay, I got a bunch of AD, and I get a bigger chunk of my crits, which I don't get because my crit is so fucking low that I have to build a zeal to make it worth it, right? So 34 plus now I think zeal they changed that too. Is it 1,200? 1,200. So 4,600 gold before you hit a power spike. You could build Guardian Angel, have 40 AD for 2,400 and a resurrection passive and 30 armor.
Damn.
You're going to crush the other lane. They won't be able to touch you.
God, I hope this doesn't make bot lane really stale and boring where it's a farm lane again.
It will. That's what
Because
I'm saying.
it's like, there's no reason to gank bot anymore. Right?
It's like, you're going to keep in mind, the reason that I can fuck people so hard with a Nivea support as like a stupid counter pick is because the resurrection passive of her egg makes them have to pick whether they're going to go on the ADC or go on you. Right? And just that time that it buys the other person to return damage because I get a whole nother health bar is fatal.
Yeah, then you just like hit them with a stun and a what is the icicle thing?
And then if they go on her, I kill them.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that's what this kind of item will do because it'll basically give your support a whole bunch of time to throw down additional items because they bursted you to death with additional defenses, and then you're going to pop back up and finish the job. This is a really stupid thing. Like I don't like either of those items.
No one's gonna die in this game.
As an AD jungler, would you get this too? I want to see why not get this.
Yeah, it's cheap. The main thing is it's cheap. It's 2,400 gold, which is like insane.
Well, that's it. It's cheap and it's good all game.
Yeah.
It's good at every phase of the game, and it's stupid cheap.
I think it's a third item, Lee Sin item. Like that's how good it is. Like crazy.
So I mean, that's the problem. We're gonna hit a meta where everybody's gonna build defensive, offensive items, and it's gonna snowball real hard.
I think as long as they keep it out of the hands of AD carries, it's fine, though, right? Like I don't mind it being built early on junglers. Like I don't feel like that's too gross.
No, but I'm saying it will be in the hands of AD carries. That's the first person I thought of when I looked at this stat line. I was like, oh, ADC's gonna build that.
I look at the trade for ADCs.
Yeah, look at the trade-off though, right? Like, look at what people currently build. They go BF Sword into their Zeal item, right? Like BF Sword into Static Shiv, which is 2,600 gold plus 1,300 gold, so 3,900 gold, right? Those are your first two items are 3,900 gold. If you go, or you can go this build where you go GA and then Zeal, like actual Zeal, which is 1,200, so 3,600. Okay, you might be right. So you can either go your traditional build of BF Sword, say Rapid Fire Cannon or Static Shiv or whatever the hell you want, which is good. It's like the core of most characters, right? Or you can instead go Zeal, which is worse than Static Shiv, but you also get a GA.
And armor.
Hey.
Yeah, and it's cheaper by 300 gold. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I think I am.
We'll have to see, though.
I really hate the feeling of looking at this, and my first was like pants shitting incredulity. Whenever I was like, I can't believe they did this again. When they just removed 2 seasons ago, like 2 or 3 items because they violated this rule of offense and defense. And they were right whenever they did it. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad Riot figured this out. God damn it.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Do you think this is going to make like certain AD carries just pop suddenly? Like, I think anyone that does high damage and can spike earlier, like Misfortune, could be really strong.
I think it may make somebody like Corky good again.
Characters who don't need that first Static Shiv item, I think, are going to really excel. Like, not crit AD carries, like not Caitlyn, not Vayne sort of thing.
Jhin back in? Like, even...
Jhin could use it, honestly. Like, I mean, Yomu's kind of blows on him now, so...
That's what I'm saying. I think, the fact that Corky also does a shit ton of magic damage will also help counter a lot of the armor you're going to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be helpful.
God.
Yeah, I think non-crit AD carries will do that build, probably.
All right. Well, this is
That's
interesting.
cool.
But yeah, that's my huge bitch fest. I do want to talk about Doran's Shield though, because I feel like they overtune the shit out of that.
What's up with Doran's Shield?
Okay, so Doran's Shield is now 400 gold or 50 gold cheaper. It's 400 gold. What the fuck happened to my ability to speak today? It's 400 gold instead of 450, so it means you can buy 2 pots with it instead of 1. So even more regen there. The health is the same. It's 80. It now has 6 flat health regen per 5. It no longer reduces damage from basic attacks or single target spells, but your basic attacks do 5 damage on hit. Now, there's no indication there that doesn't apply to ranged champions as well.
Oh, yeah.
Though it should, because it's called Shield Slam. Unless you're throwing it at them, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But
So you have to be a Leona to use this.
there you go. Then it has a unique passive where every time you get hit, you're going to regenerate 20 health over 10 seconds upon taking damage. So with this item, if you do quick trades, you will do very well. Like, you'll win because you'll regenerate all this. On all ends, it's not nearly as good as it once was.
So like Renekton?
Yeah, like if you're kind of in out, whatever damage you're going to take back, as long as you don't get consistently beaten on. Because the problem with this passive is, like, what you gave up, essentially, was flat damage reduction on all single targets, which is great. That was a really good and underrated passive. But that's really good when they consistently beat your head in with a lot of those things. Like auto attack. That crap stacks, and then the damage reduced would be huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, if they go auto attack, it's restarting a timer by which you're regening health very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have only regened like a second of health, and then you're going to get auto attacked again. You're going to start the timer over because I don't see a stacking mechanic in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to regen shit until you get out of combat for a bit.
It's like a Vayne into Caitlyn item.
I feel like it's balanced for the most part. The only time that I'm kind of upset with it is, like, I play a lot of Tahm Kench, so, like, think of him as, like, just a melee top laner, right? I don't see any situation in which I go Corrupting Potion in an 80 lane anymore, like, against an 80 character. Like, I feel like Doran's Shield is better in every single situation compared to Corrupting Potion against 80s, right? Because it gives you health, it gives you flat regen, it gives you regen on hit, and it gives you attack damage on hit. And, like, that seems actually, like, really against any auto attacker, I feel like that's just strictly better than Corrupting Potion, where you don't get health. Your only regen comes from like actually popping it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's just the only thing that makes me sad.
You also get 2 pots.
Oh yeah, and you also get 2 pots. Like, I don't know. I feel like
there's another 150 health regen right there.
Corrupting only gives you 75 then. I guess you can refill it though, but I mean, still, like, the main thing is, like, you're taking it for early laning. Like, I don't know. It just feels bad against the auto attackers. Like, I don't see why not ever go corrupting instead of that against auto attackers.
Yeah, like I said, it feels overloaded, and I didn't see anything happen to Dorn's Blade, which is still like 450.
And people are starting, at least in the bot lane, people are starting longsword 3 pots, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's weird that they wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I was expecting that. Because, I mean, that item needs... If you're going to give Doran's Shield this kind of love, you need to do something to the Blade.
I mean, Blade is the only item that's not 400 now, right?
Yeah, it's 450.
And Ring is also 400.
Well, and, that doesn't also make sense that the shield actually has an on-hit damage effect. And the sword doesn't. You know,
it's a very dull blade and a very sharp
very sharp shield, yeah.
There's some spikes on it. All right, so let's take a step back to the new durability item. So there's Adaptive Helm, which basically gives you additional health and magic resistance and increases your durability against repeated casts of the same spell. How's that item?
All right, I'm going to let you guys weigh in on this, because I was totally confused by these items and, like, when you'd even really want to have anything to do with them.
Want me to give my opinion on it? Because, like, I had a pretty strong opinion when we talked about this on LeagueCast. I think the item is awesome. I think it's a really awesome item. Like, obviously, it's meant to be built against characters like Syndra, Cassiopeia, Ryze, these like kind of people who just load the same spell at you, like just keep shooting it at you because it reduces that damage, right? Which it's a cool mechanic, right? Oh, Syndra's one-hitting me with her ultimate. Maybe I'll build Adaptive Helm so like the rest of the balls don't do as much damage. That's cool. That's a cool mechanic, right? I think it's awesome for the game. It gives good counterplay to certain characters, like it allows you to itemize properly. The problem I have is there's not enough items to justify having this. Like, in the fact that we have like what, 4 Magic Resist items? We have Banshee's Veil, we have Spirit Visage, we have I'm out of them. Is there any more Magic Resist items? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, Banshee's Veil, Spirit Visage, Abyssal.
Abyssal doesn't give it anymore, does it? Or
Yeah, it does. It still gives it. It actually gives more.
It gives more now. Yeah, that's what it is.
ZZ
3.
No.
ZZ Rot.
But that's mixed. That's mixed. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, is there any like actual like? The problem I have is there's not enough pure magic resist items. There's 3. There's 3 in the entire game that only give magic resist. And now we're adding an item that's a magic resist item, but it's only good against casters who cast the same ability. You know what I mean? It seems super, super specific when we don't have that many items in the game in that role. That's my only problem. I think it's awesome. I think it's like awesome. It's like, oh, cool, I'm landing a Cassiopeia, I buy this item, right? It's really cool. But why can't we have 3 or 4 more magic resist items that we can like also have this effect with? Like, oh, maybe I build this against this person, this against this person, instead of just adding another.
To be fair, you have that on the AD side of the coin.
Yeah.
Because you have like Dead Man's Plate versus Randuin's versus Frozen Heart.
Yeah.
Like, these are all different choices you would make filling that void. But you're right. Yeah, there's nothing. Wow. Good point.
It just feels like another item where I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather just have another MR item. Like, it just feels like that pool's too shallow.
Do you think do you think it does shut down those champions, though, the ones that this is supposed to counter?
I think it makes you, it kind of forces your hand to buy it, which I think is a good thing, though. Like, it gives counterplay to them, which I think is cool. I once again, I love the mechanic of the item. Maybe it needs to be tweaked if it's OP or if it's too weak, but I feel like it's something you can play around with. So I'm not upset about that at all.
To me, it feels like the Executioner's Calling or the Morellonomicon to like Regen guys. This would be your counterplay to the like machine gun mage class.
Okay, so what about Gargoyle's Stoneplate? I believe it armor, magic resist, and more resistances based off of how many near enemy champions there are. Then some extra health and all these perks.
It's probably the most broken item in the game.
Yeah. I really like the fact that it looks like Galio's chest.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like you just ripped Galio's torso off and made it into a piece of armor.
That's what happens to rework champions. They rip them apart.
Yeah. So, okay. I feel like we haven't heard from Cookie in a while. Cookie, do you have a strong opinion as to Gargoyle's Stoneplate? If not, you can always pass.
No, I pass on
let
this
somebody
one.
else. All right, hit it, bro.
Yeah.
Nail it. Light it up.
Well, we have a question from Clarkin about it. What do you think about Gargoyles with Sterix Gauge?
Oh, did they change Sterix? Is it still the same? Like, same way it works?
They did change it. It is. Let me flip down to it so I don't get the stats wrong.
Base AD bonus up.
Yeah,
it's changing stats on it.
The health is unchanged. The base attack damage is 30% instead of 25. The lifeline does 75% of your bonus health for 8 seconds instead of 30% of your maximum health for 3. When lifeline triggers, you grow in size and strength, gaining 40% additional base AD instead of 25. So the concept here is that if you have a health heavy build, you get more out of this item than you previously did.
Yeah, and it's definitely like once your Sterix procs, you use your active on Gargoyle Stoneplate, and then you have 100% bonus health, I think it is, and stats and resist and all that shit. So it's like, they definitely synergize together. I don't know if they're needed to be played together, but I mean, if you ever are in the point in the game where you're far enough ahead that you can invest in both Gargoyles and Sterix, I mean, they're great items to have on the same character.
Okay, I also want to throw in my little passive bitch fest that I had a minute ago. Sterix is the same kind of offender of what I'm talking about as the other offensive defensive items.
It reminds me of Atmos.
More...
I think of it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
Atmos
that
rework.
is what it is.
That's
It
what I
is
think
the
of
new
it.
Atmos is what it is. But with Atmos, it was awkward because you had to like build crit, or it gave you crit, and with health, which was a weird thing because you're not going to build health and crit in any kind of build that makes any fucking sense at all. So, what? But with this, yeah, I don't know who wouldn't benefit from a little extra AD, especially when you're building full health. And the problem that we've had in seasons past with the tank meta is that you can build full tank and you do way too much fucking damage. And so this doubles down on that effect with the other offensive defensive items. You're going to see like okay, we were talking about Zach. His base damages are so fucking high, and then he just build a shit ton of health, and you never be able to kill him, and he'll kill you, right? People hate that meta of League. Everybody hates it. People who play tanks hate it. It's like, I don't like playing tanks. It's fucking boring. Give me something else that I can play that's more fun, but I'm going to keep playing tanks because tanks win, right?
Yep.
You keep combining items like this that synergize with pure defense and yet give you offense, and it's going to make tanks do way too much fucking damage.
Wouldn't you say that Gargoyle Stoneplate is a step in the right direction then, where it's a tank item that makes you do less damage?
Yeah, but it also... it's too cheap for what it does.
I mean, I agree. I don't think there's a single initiator in the game that won't build it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a cool mechanic.
Yeah, like, well, here's the problem I've got. For 2,500, you know as a tank you're going to go into the shit. You know that's where you want to be, is around a shit ton of people, right in the middle, eating as much punishment as you can possibly take, right? So that means the vast majority of the time, this item is not worth 40 armor and 40 magic resist. It's 80. Almost all the time.
Yeah.
For the price point of 2,500 to get that kind of damage reduction is really stupid.
I mean, this is great for supports and junglers that don't have income, right? Free
Yeah.
stat. Anytime you find free stats, it's like great, and that's cheap. It's great for those champions, but also can be super abused by like the solo laners.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to hit a button, and I'm going to grow in size, gain 40% fucking of my maximum health, which, let's calculate that for a second. You're like a Dr. Mundo or something, right? Then you're going to get 40% of like 4,000 health. So you're going to get another 2,000 something health with shitloads of resistances. You're not ever going to die. Ever. I mean, you're just not.
I love the bait
So-
potential for this.
Do what?
The bait potential. Yeah. Oh, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a Lulu. It's a Lulu almost. Right?
And it's not even like your current health. So it's not like you get punished if you wait too late to hit the button. You can hit it at the last fucking minute, and it doesn't matter because you get max health. And it's like, oh no, I'm going to reduce my damage by 60%. And that's, Aiden, that's a good point. You're like, hey, you don't want tanks to do a shit ton of damage, right? Except you're going to pop this at the last fucking second before you run out of combat. So you're going to do all your damage in your front-loaded shit because you have all these like offense-defense items. And then when you are about to actually die, you hit the Zoidberg button and like, woo, right the fuck out of there.
Yeah, you actually have to remember that you're not popping this to get just get that 80 carry that's like at 100 or 200 health because you lose a lot of damage, and this is like, okay, I tried, I'm still gonna be alive, and I'm getting out of here, right?
Well, I mean, not only that, if you have somebody like Mundo that's going to run in, do as much damage as they can before they die, they're going to hit this, run back, use their ult, come right back in at full health.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
Mundo's
like,
gonna be
good-
fun. I miss
Good
Mundo.
fucking luck, you know?
So just to give some like I guess stats or like some math breakdown on it. So it's probably the least gold efficient item in the game in a 1v1. So you know.
Okay.
So like think of it this way: this item has to be built late game when you're team fighting 99% of the time. Because if you build this early in the game, you almost lose the game because it's 2,500 gold, but the stats that it gives you in it when there's less than 3 people near you is 1,120 gold worth.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
okay.
you're losing 1,400 gold worth of stats if you build it for like when you're lane, which is awful. But say if you're near 3 people, well then that doubles. So you're still negative 300 gold in stats when you're in a fight with 3 people. So I mean, it's literally only gold efficient when you're using that active for 4 seconds. So that's my only like. Maybe it's not that good because I don't know. I think the unique active when you like pop it and you get the health and the stone skin and stuff like that. I feel like that is disgusting. I feel like that's probably like a shitload of gold worth of stats. But other than that one situation, like it is not gold efficient. Like
keep in mind, to me, you're right. It is not an item that you're going to want to build and like be like, I'm good now. I have this item, right? Because it's particularly not early. But defensive stats have a tendency to magnify each other, right? Health magnifies, effective health is a multiplier on your armor, right? So if you have high armor and you have high MR and you built a lot of health in addition to those things, right? And let's say you build I'm going to build my MR item that has health on it. I'm going to build my armor item that has health on it. I'm going to build a Warmogs or something stupid like that for tons of health. And then I'm going to build this. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Well, this will give you enough resistances to top over into the 200s. So you're going to get a 60% damage reduction there, 60, 66, 75, somewhere in there. You're going to get that kind of damage reduction there from just raw defensive stats and the health multiplier of all of that health plus all of that mitigation. Mm-hmm. That's when it gets stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is the like absolute icing on the like shit cake.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's balanced though. Like I mean, it's like you're never going to build it for even 4 items. I would say. I think this is like a 5th or 6th.
Yeah, it's like a 5th or a 6th item for sure.
So I feel like this is going to be a trap item for a lot of people, especially on the first patch.
I think so. Yeah.
Everyone's super excited about it. Read that pass or read the active. And like, oh my god, that sounds amazing. And then they're like, why am I dying still in the lane? This sucks.
Because I mean, like what he was saying, like it's not even stat efficient until you get the active, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the more that you have to multiply by that active, the more ridiculously stat efficient that active actually gets.
So it's a huge exponential increase the later the game goes and the tankier you are. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want to move on to one more subject, and I want to talk about Rift Herald and the support items, but since we have like 4 supports on this episode, I figured probably support items. You guys okay with that?
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right, so just real quick, the 3 support items, you got the Ancient Coin, which basically lets you borrow a skill point from your future self. That's what they say, so you can level up 1 skill sooner. The Relic Shield line, you get another shield that regenerates over time, and when you proc your what are they called? Those bubble things that spin around you. And
your Targon procs. Yeah.
There you go. The Targon. I'm like proc the procs. That doesn't sound right. The Targon procs. And then the Spell Thief Edge, the blue one, which basically makes you move faster when you hit people. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about these items?
I think using the future skill point is. Wait, can you use that for the ultimate?
So
like if you're level 5,
it's a quest, right? So like the way the quests work is, you know how you gain gold currently is like whenever you proc a Targon's thing, you get like 30 something gold or whatever, like whatever the minion's worth. For all 3 of these quests, you have to earn 650 gold using whatever it is.
Oh,
so
I see.
The way that, and they also revamped how Ancient Coin works. So now instead of like just you know how like currently with Ancient Coin you just like get passive gold from it when minions die near you. Mm-hmm. Now when minions die near you, some of them will drop a coin, which you have to run and pick up.
So that's interesting. They're making the passive supports more active.
That's kind of the point, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. So my whole mic fell over, so I didn't get to weigh in on anything. I hope you guys are okay. Well, I had to fix that.
We're good.
Everybody
We're done.
feeling
We're
all
done,
right?
Blake.
Okay. Oh, good. good.
Oh,
No, what do you want to say?
I think that the extra skill point is, by the time you're going to be able to get the 650 gold, is not going to be that good.
Do you know when
It's
that
going to be
roughly
like level
is?
8, 9 sort of thing.
Okay.
Mm.
So you can hit level 9 is when you get second level in your alt, right? Or is it 11?
No, 11.
11.
Yeah.
Damn it. So okay, so you'll be able to use that.
Jesus Christ, Sam, come on
I
now.
know, right?
The support main.
I don't
So,
even know. I just level it when I
I
get
mean,
it.
yeah, like I said, at that point, you're largely at a laning phase. Your abilities as support are really useful when you can level them early, and then that kind of goes down. Because the whole point of a support is that you're useful without gold, and you can sacrifice your experience if need be, because you're all about the utility provided by your spells and not the power of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that Ancient Coin got the best item of the three. You know,
It's the weirdest.
maybe it's good. I don't know, but my initial thought is, by the time you get up to 650, you're probably not gonna need it as much.
I think the point is it keeps you in the game, right? Like supports usually don't hit level 18, which means, hey, I get to hit level 18
Yeah.
earlier
Wait,
in the game.
hold
right?
on. I get to hit level 18.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
So I think that's the point that they're going with, and I'm glad they made it so like you. Well, I don't think you can hit level 6, like based on like the math I was doing. Like I don't think you can get the level 6 one level earlier. And if you could, I feel like that would be disgusting. It wouldn't be good for the game.
Let's see. Could you like roam mid and bot with Moby
And
boots?
pick up all their coins.
Yeah. You get level 6 before anyone on the map.
That'd be so.
But you have to get it from the coins, right? You can't just get last hit and get gold.
No, you have to like pick up these
Okay.
things,
Oh, okay.
So I
Gotcha.
wonder,
and each
And-
one gives 20. So
and you don't get like the level up stats from you,
No.
like your champion leveling up. It's just a spell.
Yep.
Yeah. You get an item that when you use it, it gives you an additional skill point.
Yeah.
And then whenever you hit 18, you've already used that skill point. If you hit 18 ever.
That'd be cool
in the
if it gave you another skill point if you hit.
game. It
18.
does not.
That'd be cool.
that'd be so hard to balance.
Okay. Oh, so what about the other one? The Relic Shield one kind of
Okay.
sounds.
You not like that?
I mean, I like it. I guess melee supports need it, right? In theoretically,
I
melee
think
supports
it's
need a little more
fucking
sustain.
awesome.
Right?
I mean, I think it's fucking awesome, to be totally honest. Anybody that I use this on is hugely benefited by having an out-of-combat shield. And it also frees me up to use the active more judiciously for other people. Rather than, like, a lot of the times, let's say you're Thresh, you're going to hook somebody, go in, flay, box, and then try to get the fuck out of there before their team blows you up.
Mhm.
So you're going to have to use your shield to save yourself along with your lantern to potentially get your ass out alive. And that is suboptimal in a whole lot of ways, except you're probably going to get the kill on whoever the hell you hooked because they're dead. But, you got to make sure you can get out. This extra shield may be a difference maker in that.
Mhm.
And then I can use my shield on somebody else, and that would be better.
Does anyone know how significant the shield is? The one, the
Uh,
permanent shield. I don't see any numbers on that patch notes.
It doesn't say any numbers. No.
That'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
Either
I'm
way-
hoping it's big enough to make a difference, is my thought. And if it is, then that's awesome. That's kind of sloppy patch writing. Kind
Maybe they don't know yet.
It gives you a shield.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Okay, sure.
It feels the most in line with like how the characters play, though, right? Like I feel like with you look at coin, right? And I guess that's meant for more aggressive support sort of thing, but like not really because also spells these. What like coin feels like so out of place, but relic shield's like, oh, you play the tank supports who are melee and they're beefy, and that makes sense. You want a shield on them, right? And then you look at spell thieves, which is like, oh, you play the poke mage supports, and that's cool because you get movement speed when you poke them, right? That like they all feel in line except for coin, I think
Yeah.
at least.
Let's say coin was always you want to initiate, but you're also a heal bot.
Yeah.
So, like,
Go
here
team,
you go,
go.
Soraka. Enjoy. Or like, here's Janna. Do something, right? Where it's like you don't really want to take Frost Fangs. You don't get a lot out of that, or Frost Queens or any of that shit. So you're going to take Coin instead to give yourself some more utility, more movement speed, shit like that.
But this is the crazy part about that too. Like if I'm playing a support, even though like it's Soraka or Janna, I still, me personally, I always still want to take spell thieves because I want to be harassing and getting. That's more fun, and Jannas can harass like crazy in lane if you actually know how to play an aggressive Janna, which a lot of people don't. And
it almost pushes you to do that, right?
Yeah, and like so you still want to get spell thieves even as a passive-ish support, unless you're like really like, I know I'm not going to win this lane and I know I can't do anything because they're good. And somehow you know that already. Maybe you're playing in like high elo where you're like, oh, I got auto-filled support and I'm against like an LCS bot lane. All right, I'm going to get coin and live.
It seems like you go coin when you're not a melee support and when you don't poke. It's like it seems like you go down the tier list, you're like, am I melee, am I a tank? Nope. Am I a poke support? Nope, I get coin. Yep. Like it kind of feels a little bit
No, that is exactly what it is.
But what supports can't
poke,
poke,
it is one of
though.
those shitty diagrams. It's like,
That's
if
not
yes, go here. If no, it's that.
But
100%.
yeah, what supports can't poke that aren't melee?
Soraka.
I feel like I'd go
Yeah.
coin on Soraka.
She can still okay. Actually, with giving her extra mobility with the active on that too, if you go do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not so much her mobility because she has that stupid ambulance thing. So she's like flying all over the fucking place anyway.
Well, she wouldn't be
It's
able to run
more
away.
like,
But I still think you can still go spell thieves with her with Soraka.
well, you could, but it just wouldn't be that good.
You harass.
That's
and
the
get a
thing
lot
is
of
like
money.
you don't get a lot out of it.
You get
I
money.
feel
You
like
get a shitload of money out of coin. Like coin is actually worth a lot of money.
Isn't it even more weird though? Like we're talking about Soraka as a coin user because she's a passive character, right? But new coin, you have to
You
literally
have to-
walk up into the middle lane and pick up coins. Like that seems like an aggressive support. That
Sona
seems like
doesn't
you
want to do that
on-
either. Sona's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get,
what I
like,
mean. It
caught.
seems like you do that on Thresh.
Well, Sona would buy a Frostfang because she's going to poke a lot.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing is like coin lacks identity because it's like it has this speed 'em up, get in there, active effect, but yet none of the champions that build coin really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a weird item that kind of lacks its own identity, but I don't know that this actual active helps it any to define that identity.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, though, like the Spell Thief's Edge, it's like I hit somebody, I go a little faster. That makes some sense.
That sounds oppressive. Depending on
Yeah, it really does.
sounds really scary.
I think the Spell Thieves is the best of the three.
like, could you imagine Annie with this with her if she had her long auto attack range still?
Fuck Annie's Zyra.
even now, because now she has the speed that kind of gives her like a pseudo extra range, right? So Annie's
Zyra, Brand, Malzahar,
yeah, they're all
all these champions. Oh.
Hello.
My dog? Oh, my dog's asleep on the couch. Is she breathing? Yeah, she is. We're good.
I do think that if you're especially in low elo, I think because of the relic shield change, if you play a Leona, you should definitely your dog's cute too. You guys should watch the YouTube VODs or watch us on Twitch and you can see our dogs. I should bring my dog in too. I think depending on how good that shield is, which will probably be decent, and you're not going to get poked out enough. You might not get poked out enough, and if they do, then you engage on them. I think Leona's are and any engage melee supports are going to be really, really strong, especially in lower elos where you just get to do it. And now you have a little, like Blake said, you have a little extra to survive those engages when your team's like.
Oh, by the way,
lagging
I
behind a little.
actually think coin is good on Leona.
Yeah, I agree. If you don't want to go Targons, that is.
Yeah, you don't have to go Targons on Leona.
Why is
You can
that?
go coin. Because the armor that coin gives, and it gives you an even better go button whenever you hit an ult. So you hit the ult at range, and then you.
So now your
move
team can
speed up your
finally
whole team.
catch up to you.
Yep. It's really good if you can get there. The Targons will help you better through lane because they'll give your ADC some sustain, and then the shield is good. But for her, that go button is really good because
That's
of
really
just how
interesting.
she works.
You don't get any besides some. You get
Armor.
health and armor. Do you get you get health, right?
I don't know. Let me look up coin now. I can't remember.
Because no one's built it in forever. Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
don't-
No, I don't think so.
No health. So
I
just
think
What
it's
do you
just
got-
armor.
Like,
Like-
here's another interesting thing I was thinking about. What do you guys think about new Frost Fangs and the fact that it gives movement speed on its like upgrade? Because Frost Fangs was already the item that you saw mid laners build, right? Like you saw what Aurelion Souls build it. There's like a couple other ones. I'm not sure if you guys remember what the other mid laners that built it were, but there was like maybe 3 or 4 that built it because like it gave
Like a
gave
lot of
good-
shit you'd want.
GP builds it for like price sake. Like let's put it that way. Like it's just like I feel like them giving it movement speed on proc, kind of similar to Warlord's proc. I feel like that's insanely good for mid laners, and I feel like it will almost be abused by them or built by more.
boy.
Okay. Quickly before we move on, Talisman, 45 armor, 75 base mana regen, 150 base health regen, 10 cooldown reduction.
Okay, so no flat health.
Yeah.
Coin on Leona. That sounds so
I'm telling
interesting.
you, it actually kind of works.
I see it. Man, can you do coin on a Mumu support?
I don't know that you want to do a move. That I could work. I mean, but then again, a Mumu is like, if I caught you, and I'm going to stun your whole team in a circle around, they can probably catch.
Well, you think that about
You know what I
Leona
mean? Like
too,
you
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
have gone in before you know that you need the coin. You know what I mean? So like you'd have to like pop the coin as you land the bandage,
queue.
because then you're going to be gone.
Hmm.
But couldn't you? I mean, what would you do with the way you would play with Leona? You'd hit an alt and then you'd coin. Or
Yeah,
you'd coin and
you
then
hit
alt.
the, if you hit the ult, then you pop coin.
So yeah, you hit a
And
Q.
you-
When you
and
hit
you-
right before
yeah.
you hit a Q, you on a Mumu you pop the coin.
Well, no,
too.
then you'd E in and stun lock them even longer. Is what I'm saying. That's how you would do that. Is,
well, okay,
oh,
this is-
kill that motherfucker.
I think I've caused a
Pop it.
stupid
E in
discussion
stun 'em.
anyway because a Mumu support might not be the thing to do.
I wasn't talking about a move. I don't think that's. It's actually deceptively okay.
Yeah, because he
Mumu
can do
support, by the
damage.
way.
You can build spell
Well, no-
thieves or something, and
And not only can he do damage, but that E with the tantrum
Mhm.
it reduces damage of basics and shit like that. So,
yeah, he just
or does it still? Didn't they like remove that or reduce it or something?
He does damage still. It's gross.
But
All right.
anyway,
Anything else about support items before we close out?
no support
No.
items. I think we're good.
We're good?
Why don't we hit the emails and then just
Oh,
deal with the rest
shoot,
of the
I
patch
totally
next
forgot.
week?
All right. Wow, I totally forgot about the emails. All right, we'll go a little long. No problem. Good episode. Okay, so the first listener question is an email. This is now the listener question segment, since we get emails on our Facebook group, or we get questions on our Facebook group and emails and a few other places. So, yay! Listener question. So Mammoth Cat writes in, what beyond the summoner spells would players set hotkeys to and settings in general? Trying to get used to the setup so later in ELO I don't have to get used to a new setup of keys later for muscle memory. Cheers.
You should set up joke and laugh.
All right, drop mic. That is episode 142. Oh, that's good.
That's what
Yeah,
I
especially
do.
if you're playing Singed, you should definitely find those very accessible.
Christ.
The one big thing that I mentioned, I think, is range indicators on Quickcast. Is it called Quickcast? Yeah, that's what it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the day, they didn't have range indicators, and that's why people used to keep it on, or keep normal cast on. But I think nowadays you can just go Quickcast everything, and just hold them
Okay.
down to keep the range indicators alive.
So what I would say is like this is how I do it. And this I'm not to say that the way I do it's the way you should do it. Like I don't believe that. It's just this is what works for me, right? Is all my spells are instant quick cast, no range indicators.
As
Like
they
all
should
my
be.
QWER is all that.
Mhm.
Now, if I hold down control and I hit QWER, that's normal cast. I can just, or wait, maybe it's quick cast with range indicators. think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I can do that, and I can aim up my shit if I need to aim up my shit. And then if I hit Alt QWER, that's to level those abilities. So
That's what I got.
there you go, and that's the ability to level an ability without clicking a plus button like a jackass can save you so many times.
So I recently went through like 160 Lola plays for April. There are a few of our, a few members of our community that don't know how to level up and with hotkeys, and it's so important, because that's like you last hit that last creep, you level up 6 right away and shoot your Ash Arrow or your Zyra ult or whatever. Like that is how you win and climb for a very long time just on that.
Yes,
So
I
important.
agree.
Oh, also, I don't like what League does with trinkets, how it sets it 1 through 7.
Yeah.
7 is a completely difficult to hit button. So what I instead do is I do 1 through 6, and then I put my trinket on T.
Okay.
So that
T for
way,
trinket, huh?
T for trinket, and it's right there by your finger. You can do that, and that's fine. I'm a good enough typist that I don't blindly shoot off my ult trying to lay a trinket. So that's the counter argument, is it's right next to your ult button, so make sure you don't fuck that up. The other is there is a button that is seldomly used by lower level players that is target champions only. That is one of the most important buttons to have bound to something that you can use quickly.
You know, I've
It's
never
tilde,
used that
right?
one. Isn't that
Huh?
crazy? I've never used that.
Dude, put it on your mouse. Like, I put it on the here, holding up my mouse.
Dude,
I put
I
it on-
have the weirdest
I put it on
hotkeys.
these 2 buttons on my mouse, so I can just hit anything on my mouse, and I will use that. And it is the best for people who have on-hit spells like Aurelia and shit like that, or any champion who's point and click anything. ADCs, whenever somebody's moving through a wave of minions, hold down that button and just right-click them, and you can't miss.
Maybe I should.
That would solve my
So-
issue of eating minions on Tahm Kench instead of characters too.
That
So,
happens a lot too. I've seen.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a bug. I'm pretty sure it's a bug, honestly. Like, I mean, not to jerk myself off, but I play a lot of Tahm Kench, and I mess that up more often than I should. So I'm pretty sure it's a bug, like to some degree, but like still, that would solve me messing that up.
You heard it here first. In patch 7.14, they'll announce it as a bug, finally fixed.
I feel like it is though, like something weird, like it does the animation for the third proc shows up before when you can eat them, sort of thing. Like I'm pretty sure it does, but
I mean, as a person
you
that
use
played Tahm
Spellcast?
Kench like twice, I definitely think it's a bug because
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I trust Aiden on that. His Tahm Kench just barely managed to beat my Aurelia.
it happens in the LCS too, though. Like you'll see like someone like try to eat their support, but they like eat a minion, and you're like, they're professional players, they wouldn't mess that up. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a bug, but
did you know?
But yeah, I mean, so that target champions only button is a really important thing to bind. I put it on my mouse because it's super easy. I've got the Logitech G502, which is the Proteus Core one. It's just got the 2 big buttons on the side for
My
like
mouse too.
forward and back on the internet.
Uh-huh.
Those buttons I use for target champions only because it's easy.
Both of them for the
No.
same thing?
Yep. That way it doesn't matter if I fuck up and click the wrong one. I don't like having anything on my mouse. Like, I don't like it because I feel like it fucks up my click mechanics. Because whenever I push in on the button, it like feels like it's going to move the mouse.
Sure.
Right? Which is why I hate those, like, I play an MMO and I have 47 buttons on my mouse that I hit with my thumb. Like, I could never do that. I mean, more power to you if you can. I can't. Like, I do not have that skill. So I minimize the mouse inputs other than, like, clicking and moving it around.
Gotcha.
But that's something that's important. Don't forget, if you have G keys, those can be useful for some people use them for like macros. I don't honestly like macros in League. I don't think it adds much. But then again, a lot of people use it for I can perfectly ward hop if you plug it into your keyboard or whatever. And there's nothing illegal about that. It's not scripting. So actually, there's not, right? It said macros are okay. I saw your face, Aiden. Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's true.
yeah, they did. I looked it up one point. I don't use macros, but
I don't either.
Don't forget
Let's
about
see.
your F1 to
Riot.
F4 or
Are
5.
macros okay?
Either way, like, do any of you guys use self-cast as like a thing? Because I feel like that's something that not enough people utilize. Like,
Okay, so
yeah,
I have
I do
the
set that up.
weirdest. I've changed my keyboards, my keys every season until last season. Actually, every season I switch them up. And what I liked, because I was playing Zillion a lot, where you self-cast a lot of things.
Yeah.
And 1 through 4 are my self-cast QWER, which is kind of weird. And then I have my 2 mouse buttons are items, 5 and T are items. So actually there's 2 slots that I don't have items for, which has been a problem sometimes playing supports. And then, so 1 through 4 are self-cast, so I could just like switch my fingers up and down. Because I thought that was faster, because Alt QWER is level up, and I never played FPSs where I like use my pinky to hit shift and control and that stuff. I just don't like it, and it feels ergonomically like horrible. So I just don't use my shift and control for that kind of stuff. So therefore, 1 through 4 are my self-casts.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go
I
ahead.
just remembered. A lot of people use quick cast on their items. My advice to you is don't use it on one slot, whichever one you're going to put your wards or your sightstone in. As well, don't put it on your trinket.
Unless you put on range indicators and you can hold it down before you place it.
Yeah, I suppose you could do that, but there's not a lot of advantage there. You're not going to get a whole lot of time that way, and you're probably going to.
If I have a quick application where I need to play down a ward, I can just quick cast it and just do it.
Okay, I'm still saying that's not going to give you a whole lot of time, because
That's
most
an
of the
argument.
time,
Then just do normal cast for everything.
no, it's not, because normal cast, if you have to do things quickly, is a whole bunch of inputs, but you never really ever have to lay a ward that quickly.
If you're going
At
into
least-
someone runs into a bush, I mean, it saves a little bit of time.
I don't know, man. All I have to do is just click, and then it's over.
No, well,
it's
okay.
not like, I mean, it's not hard. So, that being said, the reason I say this is because your actual cursor will change color if you're going to put a ward into a bush or if you're going to put it out of a bush. And as any support main will tell you, you always want to put it in the fucking bush. 'Cause if you put it outside the bush, you're not going to see shit inside that bush, right? So, and it also helps you edge the bushes and get like exponentially more vision out of putting it on just the very tip of the bush.
Unless you get that
And you
one
can see
spot in that
further.
bottom bush that doesn't give you vision. Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I've had that.
I have. Wow.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Don't trust that cursor completely, particularly on the very 1 pixel edge of it, because it's also impacted, like all things in League. There's an artificial camera angle that is not straight down. So sometimes it'll tell you your macro is just in the bush, but it's not because your camera angle's fucked, right, as to what the reality is.
I don't know
So
about that
beware of that.
But maybe that explains my issues I've had.
That's what it is. That's also the, I shot a skill shot right through the center of Ezreal and it didn't hit. That's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So another thing in the settings I would talk about is scaling your HUD. Make it as small as possible, because I don't really know why you need to look at it unless you're learning a champion. But even then, I don't think you need to. So just make that as small as possible so you have more real estate. I would never shrink the minimap. What else? If you're left eye or right eye dominant, you also want to switch your minimap side too. Like Skara has his on the left, while most people would have it on the right. There's like a quick test. Just Google it. It's like looking at your thumbs and with one eye open and one eye closed, and that does not translate well into any podcast format. So go Google that and see how to do that. Can't think of anything else.
I was going to mention before, like with self-casting, if you play like stuff like Orianna, if you're not self-casting your shield, then you actually can't play the character to the level you need to play the character. like characters that like constantly require you to self cast, or like even look at supports. Like I'm not sure if any of you guys play a lot of Morgana, but if you guys can like do the thing where I'm pretty sure this works. I don't play a ton of like supports that can shield their teammates, but if you like hit your shield button, which is your E, and then your F1 to 5 keys, which are target teammates, yeah, you can hit E target. Say your AD carries your teammate 5. So if you went EF5, it would put the spell shield on them immediately.
Yeah.
As long as you have it on quick cast.
And as long as
Okay, hold on. Say that again because I was reading about macros to try
if
to
you
figure
did
out.
EF5 on Morgana, it would put the shield on whoever is.
Oh
dedicated
yeah,
to F5.
yeah, that's a thing. That's
It's
totally-
super important too. I find.
Yeah, especially like when things get messy and you're like, I know my AD carry is fed and he's the only person that needs to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also, and this is like a little bit shittier version of what he just said. If you are in a team fight and you need to click somebody who's in a lot of traffic, their little champion picture right above the minimap also works as a instantly target them.
That's
So
how you learn how to
cast
channel, right?
Sure.
You watch their health bar go down really fast, and you click their
You go,
portrait. You just look at the fight, right?
Oh shit! Click the portrait. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit, like, you can do that for Morgana Shield and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tom Kinch, Eat, I've made that mistake a lot where I've either ate a minion or ate the enemy who has 3 stacks when I wanted to eat my ADC and fuck that whole thing up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's clicking a portrait can be an easy way to go, but you're right. If you hit the target button, it also works. So
All right, cool. We have one more email, but I'm actually going to say that for later because we actually have some follow-up from the person that wrote the email. Or actually, it's not an email. It's from the contact page on our website, if you guys didn't know. You could do that, too, if you don't want to write an email. But so we'll save that for next week. Other than that, we got no iTunes reviews to talk about. No announcements. We have a few more YouTube videos on. I've been trying to get the YouTube thing more active.
dude,
with that Lola
I've
Plays.
really been enjoying that. I want to compliment you on the Lola Plays montage.
Thanks,
That was
man.
pretty nice.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
I've spent at least 8 hours, or no, first one took me 3 hours, the second one took me like 5 hours. It's kind of ridiculous how much time it takes, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I have to learn everything as I go. But those have been fun.
But if I do have one complaint, though, it does feel a little light on Wise Papa Smurf content.
Let's see, I think you had one
You
in each.
probably
I think you
not
had
good
one
up
in
to
each.
You have to have big plays to be included in
Probably
the
not
montage.
good.
Oh,
Like 3.
Aiden, I ran out of room to put your fail in there.
Oh, that was so great.
Oh,
Dude,
that
I
was-
was actually so upset.
That was so great.
I saw that you're like, is this Lola Plays worthy? I'm like, turns out it is. We
Yeah.
have a Lola Fails group right there at the end of the video.
Yeah,
That's
man,
rough.
I'll add that into a future one because that one was really good. But yeah, if you guys don't know, if you download plays.tv, you could use a hashtag when you upload your highlights with hashtag Lola Plays or hashtag Lola Fails or hashtag Lola Escapes or whatever creative things you want to add into it. Always use the hashtag Lola Plays, and then every month we go through it and we are trying to make montages out of that. And that's going to be part of our monthly content since we broke 200 donations, the next milestone on our Patreon, but it kind of went under back after whatever. We're near 200, so we're going to try to put out monthly YouTube content too. Maybe some 60-second tips. We might bring that back alive. If you guys are interested in helping with video stuff, that'd be great.
Yeah, that sounds
Dude,
cool.
No.
After I've released like 100 and something 60-second tips, I'm having a really hard time coming up with new ones.
The great thing about having a podcast that has 160 episodes, no one goes back to episode 1 through 160. So
Yeah.
we could reuse those too. I didn't say that out loud. That was not on the podcast. But yeah, I think that's it. Do we have any other announcements? I don't think. Oh, community games. We're changing up community games a little bit. If you guys don't know, we do community games on Wednesday at 8 p.m. CST, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we usually jump into just like a 5v5. But we've been having a little more people, so we might split that up. We might still do 5v5s if the numbers allow. If we have more, we might split up into like multiple 5v5s. We might do shoutcast and stuff with a cast popping in and out, playing games and shoutcasting. And we might do just like we split up and play ARAMs, Flex Queue, and each group might have like a host in it if we have enough groups to do that. Play some normal games. I would say Dominion, but Dominion's gone. Maybe rotating game modes on the weekend too, right? I think they're only on the weekend. So, but we'll have some more fun in community games. So make sure to stop by, especially if you haven't been in there, especially if you think that 5v5 is a little stressful, which they shouldn't be. But yeah, sometimes that can happen. Either way, community games are going to get revamped a little bit. Join us on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. CST in the Discord channel, and just let us know that you're interested in the community game so we can make sure you get in. Other than that, I think that's it. We good? Good, boys?
Yeah.
All right, that is episode...
Hold on one second. I could not find an answer quickly as to whether macros are definitively
Fruity
legal.
put it in the...
They're not.
Fruity put it in the Discord chat room.
What? Was he right? Did he find the answer?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did he say? What did
Takes
it
you
say?
down to a point where it says you can't.
Lola Podcast loses half its listeners. Half the listeners.
Sorry, guys, for your impending bans. So, no. The macros, not illegal.
Yeah, we'll probably...
Are illegal.
I think I'll name this episode Macros Are Legal Now. Blake.
Bunch of
Dude,
No,
question
don't
marks.
label it that. That would be a bad idea.
All right, so that is it for episode 142 of the Lola Podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys.